evening. Welcome. Sunday in the fish room with Skull Aquatics.
Yeah,
Welcome, sir.
thank you. Good to be
It's
here.
been it's been a while since I've been around you, so I
Yeah,
think the last time it was on Vibes' live stream.
could have been. Yeah, it's been a while. That's what we were talking before, though. It's summertime, so we've both been out doing other things.
I've been doing a lot of different things, trips to Canada, doing things of that nature.
Yeah,
Trying to get things to move the way I want them to, but it is what it is. Can't
yeah,
harp on the past. You just got to keep moving forward.
yeah. We go to a lot of car shows, stuff like that.
Canada seems boring. What's up, Garcia? Welcome, Mystic Pets. Welcome, Scuba Stevo. Welcome, Mike. Got Jeff Kane lurking and eating. What you eating, man? You ain't sharing. So, tell us about yourself. I don't know a lot about you, to be honest.
Oh, I just turned 59 last week,
Happy birthday.
so that means 49 years of having an aquarium. I carried my first one home from Woolworths.
Oh, wow.
I said that in another stream, and Mexicali's the only one who knew what I was talking about. Got to be old to remember those stores.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories you got to be old to remember.
Yeah. And I was watching Lush and Salty's tour that Aquafinity did,
Uh-huh.
and he's got that shelf with all the antique, like the bubbling guy, all the little ornaments and crap. And down on the end, these tanks were made without silicone. They're all glass.
Oh,
Like
wow.
a fish bowl, but they were rectangular. He's got one sitting on that shelf. I wish I still had it.
Mine's like pizza and Kmart days. I remember the Kmart days.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name, James, right? I've been in the hobby a long time, just off and on.
Yeah.
But we were talking, you said you mainly keep rare species. Let's hear what you got.
I do now. I've done the whole gamut. I've done cichlids and redfish for the local fish store, guppies, mollies, all of that. Did saltwater for about 10 years. And I was reading a magazine, and that's how I met Greg Sage. There's an article in there about how he had species in his basement that were on the verge of extinction, and he's trying to keep them going and keep them in the hobby, right? I'm looking him up. He lives about 5 hours from me. So I emailed him and said, "Hey, can I come by your house?" He said, "Yeah, come on by." So I've been there, I don't know, half a dozen times. And almost all the things I have are from Mexico, South America. I only have one that's completely extinct in the wild.
What's that one?
It's called the Black Prince, the Cracodon audax. It's a small little, like a 2-inch live bear. And they go for about $100 a pair.
Oh, that's a pretty little fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, when somebody tells me something like a fish, I look it up. I'm like, I got to see what this looks like.
Oh, yeah. We could do that for another hour now. They're called Nezzy swords. Jeff Kane had those too. You got 3 different kinds of limias. Humpback limias, limia tigers, and limia perugiae. They're all from Haiti, Dominican Republic. I got the Amica splendens, rainbow gadea. Got the Xenotoca doidroi. I got the wild green swordtails.
Wild green swordtails.
Yeah. Male's sword is over an inch long, and its whole back end beam's green.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool fish.
Absolutely it is.
And I got the least killies, I have the bluefin killies, I have the banded killies, I have the Xyphosphorus Swordless Swordtail.
Welcome. I have your run of the mill everyday just fish. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think the two that I have that not a lot of people have, the Walrus Anthocanthoid, and then I have your, the natural blue Acara. I don't see a lot of people that have those two fish. Other than that, everything else I got, I'm sure everybody has. Or have had,
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me what's the last fish I bought in the pet store. I was like, I couldn't tell you. There's not one in this room I've either traded with somebody or bought them outright off Aquabid or somewhere. The only thing I go to the pet store for is if I need airline tubing or the tank sale's on and I need a tank.
So how many tanks do you have running in your fish room?
29, I think.
Oh man, you're like me. You got MTS. Do you what do you run for filtration?
It's all air.
All air, like sponge filters type deal?
Sponge filters. I've got 500 gravels running.
I have never had the privilege of using an under the gravel filter. I would like to.
The Python made it even better.
Really?
Because you can take that uplift tube, take the top of it off, pull your air line and everything out, take the end of your Python off and stick it right down in there. And suck a whole bunch of it out from underneath that plate.
Oh, do they still sell those?
Yeah. My Petco still has them.
I'm going to have to look.
You can go in there and buy them. They only stock like a 10 and a 20. But they're on Amazon. And I don't use Airstones. I use those, what do you call them? What do you call them? These?
No, the Never Clogs?
Yeah, but I'm too cheap for that. These are some Amazon. Get 8 of them for,
Same ones. They're adjustable. They work.
Yeah, they work fine.
Yeah, I put them in the bottom of, if you pop the top of the sponge filter off, you put them in the bottom, it actually can quiet down your fish room.
Yeah.
With those in the middle of it. The only thing is it kind of plugs up a little bit. Occasionally.
Yeah. I've done that. I don't think I have any sponges set up that way now.
I don't. Actually, I do. I've got one. And I'm pretty sure that my Midas cichlid is going to chew it apart.
Yeah.
I've
got one in this little tank. It's actually a box filter that's got sponge in it. Just your regular box filter, and instead of putting moss and everything in it, put a sponge in it.
It reminds me of the one I used to run on my first goldfish tank. Used to sit in a corner, had like cotton balls and stuff inside of it. It was air driven.
Mm.
I remember those back in the day. I was amazed when I seen one the other day. I was like, man, I can't believe I still have this thing. I can still use it.
Yeah, I've got one running in this tank right here. So, and it doesn't make a mess when you pull it up out of the tank.
No, it doesn't. It's all enclosed.
All enclosed, yeah. I like it. Like anything else, you can hot rod it.
Oh, absolutely. I like all of my canister filters down here. I think I have 2 of them that still have those stupid plastic balls in them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this right now. If you're running a canister filter and you got bio balls in them, throw them away. They do me absolutely no good. I exchange it for lava rock.
I was just going to say that. I said, I have one that I don't have running. It's in the closet. And it's half sponge and half lava rock.
I've got the ceramic rings in the bottom. I've got lava rock and sponge. It does fantastic. I did the same thing with my my FX6s. I've got lava rock in those.
Yeah. My pond filter outside looks like a little barrel. It's only, I don't know, 16 inches tall. It's all lava rock with about a 2-inch sponge sitting on the top where the water comes in.
It's got to work just fine.
I'll throw it out in the grass in the springtime and rinse it all out with a garden hose and throw it back on. That's the whole maintenance right there.
Yeah.
I told my wife, you could drink out of that filter and it's better than the city water. She didn't believe me. So we got 2 glasses. We filled one up out of the sink, straight out of the tap, and I got water out of the outlet of that filter. There's a huge difference.
You know what? I would probably take a drink of my goldfish pond. I'm not going to lie to you. It's overfiltrated like to death.
I would drink that one. Can't be
Yeah.
as bad as what the city's doing to me. So.
I'll tell you what, there's times when I turn the water on here and it smells foul.
I've heard people say they could smell the
Smell chlorine in it. Yeah.
I've never had that.
I had this is back when I was having issues with my 125 that I actually figured out what was wrong with it. I was going to do, before I went to work, I was down here like 6 in the morning, man. That's how bad this tank had me. I was that messed up about it. I was draining the tank and I turned the water on, was getting ready to get the temperature set to where I wanted it, and all I smelled was chlorine. I said, you know what? Nope. I shut it off, and I left my 125 was like half full of water all day until I got home. Then I got home, and I let it run for like 45 minutes. I'm not even going to lie.
That's where you need to have room to have that brute trash can to always have 40 or 50 gallons sitting around.
Yeah, I got plans on something like that.
Yeah, I've already been slowly piecing my filters together, so I'm not even using safe or primer or anything. It's whole house filter, charcoal. And
Oh, nice.
then at least I know I'm getting filtration before it hits the tank.
There's a lot of people that are doing that. They're changing their house over to filter out all their water.
Yeah.
I'm like, I might try that.
Yeah, mine's not hard to do because mine's right there, so wouldn't be real hard for me to pull off.
No, not at all. I see you got your stands built out of center blocks, right?
Yeah.
You know, let's do something a little different here. I don't want to look at my ugly mug. Let's look at you. I can see your picture, your room a little better.
I got both of these sides for free because when we moved in this house, that's how they had their garden marked off.
Uh-huh.
So there's like 40 cinder blocks in my backyard.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, I'm going to use them. I know it wastes a lot of space, but if I get a whole lot more, then it's going to turn into a job. And I don't want it to be a job.
Nice. So, I know you keep a lot of rare fish and almost extinct species. What is your holy grail fish, though? I know there's one out there you just want more than any.
Oh, man. The one I want that nobody will let me have is a chana. Probably weren't expecting that, but I'd love to have it. I'd love to have one. But there's some other Goodeads out there I'd like to have, and I know who has them.
Uh-oh.
Just a matter of cost and space. Once I started selling, and I started meeting people, and now I have like this 5 or 6 deep list of breeders that, I could message them and say, hey, I'm looking for such and such, and they'll be like, oh, you need to talk to this other guy. He's got them. You start getting that networking.
Yeah.
And it gets you in trouble because it's like, crap. Now everything that was just a picture in a magazine, I know the guy who has it.
Absolutely. Slim Tim, thank you for dropping a sub to Skull.
Yeah, thank you.
Slim Tim said he was drink out of his 90.
Yep.
Tommy successfully pulled the rim off of a 20-gallon long. No light knife. Nice. Use a carbon block.
Yeah. I see a lot of people use those ones for an RV where you just screw them on the end of your garden hose.
I thought about trying that. I really did.
That's what
I've got my holy grail, so I've got my holy grail fish in the fish room, so I'm not really too concerned about not having them. But that was definitely an unusual one from you. I was like, what? I got a buddy who said that his holy grail fish is something that I see every summer when I went fishing.
Yeah, is that a pumpkin seed or something?
A bluegill.
A bluegill.
I'm like, bro, I'll send you one.
Yeah, we could go catch a whole bunch of them around here.
I can go catch one 2 minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
You know, practically reach down and pull them out of the water by hand. There's that many of them here.
I've seen a lot of people put that stuff in a tank, though.
Oh, bluegill are vicious, man.
I made a mistake one time. I put one of those yellow sunfish in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. That thing's worse than the cichlid.
Absolutely.
That thing's a terrorist.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I was cleaning my 75 that's got my Midas in it. And I learned that dude does not like me. I don't think the dude likes himself. You know this sponges on a stick where you can scrub like the glass, the algae on the inside?
Yeah.
But he was taking chunks out of it.
Jesus.
I'm like, come on, man. Jim, thank you for having special guests. I never knew Skull Aquatics. I'm going to call BS on that, Berto.
Yeah, me too. Since he's got my phone number, I think that's BS.
Yeah, I'm calling BS. Thank you for sharing it, Resident Alien 86. Oh, for you lovely individuals that have not followed us on Rumble, Resident Alien 86 is our name over there. Go check us out. I know it's a shameless plug. I know.
I'm on there now. I put a whole two videos up, and the first person that responded was the guy saying, "Contact me so I can grow your channel."
Yeah, same with us. What's up, Jesse? Welcome. Price tag, welcome. Her koi eats sponge filters. Your koi will eat anything. They're carp.
And
So, what got you into breeding fish?
the first time I bred fish was because my local pet store. I was in there and he was unboxing all of his stuff. And at the time, I had 2 or 3 tanks, just basic angelfish and guppies. And he was complaining. This was back in the 80s about how expensive it was to ship them. And, half of them die. And I told him, I said, "Why don't you just breed them yourself?" And he's like, "I don't have any room. I'm a store." He's like, "Why don't you breed them for me?" So we started with guppies and mollies and stuff like that, and been going ever since. I learned not to breed too many angelfish, though. Learned that lesson.
All right.
You can't get rid of them.
Here's my issue with angelfish. I can't keep them alive.
Yeah.
They'll make it, 3 or 4 months for me, and then they just all start dropping.
I think a lot of the fish that you see nowadays, it's a genetics thing because they've been so massively inbred for the hobby.
Yeah, that's
you got to get them from somebody that really knows what they're doing, and it's a good line. Then you're successful.
I've seen the ones that Mexicali has, and I've honestly thought about contacting him to get some from it.
Yeah, these are pretty nice.
He's got some real nice looking angelfish. I'm just, once again, I'm at the point to where I have things here that I don't have room for. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like right now, I have 2 Oscars that I have to set a tank up for because they're outgrowing the tank they're in pretty quick. An Oscar's going to outgrow a 32-gallon in a couple months.
Yeah.
So I now have 6 Oscars. So it's about time I get a monster tank.
I just got angelfish again, but they were the right price. They were free.
Free's a good price.
Yeah, I was talking to Richard Reynolds, who lives down there in Florida, and I made him mention months and months ago I wanted to get mermaid weed ever since I saw Tommy show it.
Yeah.
I never see it around anywhere. And he told me, "Well, let me know next time I'm out collecting. I'll just grab you some." All right, cool. So I get this box. It's got mermaid weed in it. It's got these bluefin killifish in it, and it's got 2 black angelfish in it. So
Nice.
we went from one plant to a big ass box. And they are.
Uh,
They're pure black. They're a
I had
long way from being adults.
I had 2 all black angelfish. They were beautiful, and they just gone.
I
So
think the black is my favorite.
I had the hell were they? They were bright, like reddish orange.
Yeah, like
Can't think of what. Yeah, I had them for. They were the longest ones I had. I think I had those ones almost a year. I've had better luck with Walroo keeping them alive than I have with angels. So Tommy says he wish he still had some mermaid weed. It sells out fast.
Well, if I don't kill it and make some more, I'll send you some.
I've got to get into getting some tanks planted again. I had a couple of them. I just got away from it. I think it's because I just started packing in more fish and more fish and more fish.
Yeah.
At some point in time, I'm going to downsize. It's going to be all big tanks. I'm going to get rid of some of the smaller ones. I'll keep my breeding tanks. And other than that, I'll keep the breeding rack that I have. And I'm probably going to keep my clown puke tank. And then the rest of them are probably just going to go.
Yeah. Slim Tim's got all the duckweed you need right there.
Yeah. He has seen all of his duckweed. I'll tell you what. I did not have so good of luck with my first round with Walroo. Everybody says they're easy. They're not as easy as Oscars, I promise you. At least the ones I got. I lost 12 of them in a span of like 24 hours that I had here for like a month. And then within 24 hours, they were all gone.
I remember you saying that.
Oh, yeah. They had velvet.
Yeah.
Treated them for what looked like ick. It wasn't ick. Treatment for velvet. If you treat velvet like you treat ick, it speeds it up.
Makes it worse.
I learned it the hard way.
Just isn't it when you raise the temperature that makes the velvet spread?
Real fast.
Yeah. I actually don't even own any medicine. Hope nothing happens. I don't have anything.
You know what? I have 80 pounds of medicine.
Salt?
Yep. And it's not aquarium salt. And that's where people will kind of look at me like I'm weird. So I use Morton's water softer crystals. It is pure salt.
That's what I use in my brine shrimp hatcheries.
Pure salt.
Yeah. Works just fine.
Works perfect. I've never had issues. It softens the water too.
Mm-hmm.
My natural blue Acara, love it. So does my Walroo. That's how I was treating them all.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, my cichlids one.
If I really need to treat something, I use marine salt for saltwater tank.
Yeah.
Because it has all the calcium and all of that in there.
That's good
And
to know.
You got to put a lot of marine salt in to change the salinity in a tank. Like, you got to be putting it in there by the cup.
I was putting
4 tablespoons or something in a 20 is not going to hurt anything.
No. I have a I don't know. Let me see if I can find a cup. Watch out. Baby Joe. My dog's down here with me.
Now you're like me, getting up looking for stuff.
So this is the cup that I use to put salt in my aquariums. This is going to sound weird. Standard Pepsi can cup.
Yeah.
All right. So when I got my natural blue Acara, they had ick. They had ick real bad. So I tried it the conventional way with IckX. Did absolutely nothing. The ick on them was so bad it laughed at it. Took my 75, drained it down till there was about 25 gallons of water in it. I put 4 of these cups in that, just dropped it in. I said, you know what? We're going to see what happens. I left it in there. I don't know. It's probably like 25 minutes, and the fish started swimming funny. I'm like, all right, it's time to get some water in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next day, they looked 100 times better. Like it was just falling off of them. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the reason I got to move everything around in here. time I was at his house, I got a 5-foot acrylic from him.
You know what? My wife was out, what was it? Last week, driving around. And she said she almost caused an accident. She seen a fish tank in the trash. I'm like, why'd you almost cause an accident? Go turn around and go back. She's like, I seen it. I had to have it. I'm like, well, you could have not, caused an accident. So she gets it, and it's a all-in-one Fluval 20-gallon tank.
With the filter and everything in the back.
Yeah. So that's going to be on my desk at work.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to put me, I don't know. I've got like 35 or 40 Serpe Tetras. I figure I could put 5 or 10 of them in there on a heavily planted tank. They'll be just fine.
Probably put 20 of them in there.
Yeah, they'll do good. Once I get it planted and going, I mean, it should do just fine.
It'll be cool.
And then I got bristlenose plecos running out of my ears.
Yeah, I seem to have that problem every now and then.
I've got so I bought this one, okay? I've had her, she's probably 3 years old. And for a bristlenose pleco, she's not very big, you know what I mean? Most of them get like that.
Yeah, 6, 7.
She's like that. She's little guy. I mean, just little. She might look like she's a little longer than a big cigarette lighter. And I'm like, all right, I don't think she's ever going to breed. Well, I chucked a male in there. I didn't know he was a male. I just chucked him in there. Next thing I know, it's like I don't know, maybe a week later, I got babies everywhere. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
Nice. He's had really good experience with it. I haven't. And then I learned, I learned a couple of other things when it comes to when I was treating those fish. So this is where I'm going to differentiate from everybody else. With the like your natural blue acara, they're a little different than your electric blue acara, even though they're the same fish. The coloring's different. They're almost the same fish. I keep their temperature 83, 84 degrees constantly.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you're going to kill them. It's going to stun them. They're not going to do this. I'm like, dude, they're growing like weeds. They're eating good. They're healthy. I'm like, what am I doing that's going to kill that fish?
A lot of people will tell you you're shortening their lifespan because they're growing so quick, but I don't know that that's ever been proven.
I don't think it has been proven. They're doing great.
Go back to Mexicali. What's the temperature of his fish room for 6
90.
months?
Like 90.
And that dude's in there breeding angelfish and everything at 90 degrees.
Yeah, he breeding angelfish like it's his job. She needs a good male. Hers is stupid.
Yeah, I got a few.
He's like, I got one or two.
I got a whole
Welcome,
tank.
Gord.
Got a whole tank full of super reds.
I've got just your standard run-of-the-mill, like the green and brown ones.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them in here.
And then I have the albinos.
I got the albino long fins, and I got 2 tanks of the long fin green dragons.
I've got a green dragon. That dude is cool. He's in my my Tetra tank.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful fish.
You get 2 or 3 of them in there with their big flowing fins, and they're all sticking on the glass. That's pretty cool.
He's
These other ones I got, they're not full grown yet. I'm looking to see them when they get full grown and green.
Absolutely. That's the only pleco I have that's not afraid to be out, It's out day or night. It don't care.
Yeah, my super reds and greens are out all the time. My greens are on the glass right now. There's like 6 of them on there.
Welcome, June.
June? Yeah.
Mama June's here. I've got one in here. I figured for sure he would have been fish food, but he's still kicking. I got a 14-inch Oscar in there, so I figured for sure that Oscar would catch him and eat him. He hasn't. The only thing the Oscar has hunted down and successfully caught is my wonderful Siamese algae eater. Dude, he was swimming around with him in his mouth proudly. I said, I can't take him from you. Enjoy. You know what I mean? He worked for it. I know he did. Those things are fast.
He did the work to catch that little bastard. Too.
Yeah, that little bastard's quick. You know it and I know it. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was telling somebody. I got like those Limia perugia, if you've ever tried to catch the algae eaters or like zebra danios or something. Holy crap, these guys are the same way. 2 nets, drain the tank down to 3 inches, and
Oh yeah, you're still chasing them.
still chasing.
I had that with convicts, man. When I was moving my convicts,
Yeah.
I ended up taking a bigger siphon hose.
Sucking
I
them
started the siphon and just sucked them up. That was the only way I'd catch them.
Yeah.
That's how I transferred them from a 10 to a 55. I know I'm keeping some fish. They might end up being food. I ain't gonna lie.
I've done that with some shrimp. Instead of chasing them all, I just hooked the suction up, put my
Yep.
big net over the bucket, vacuum them right into the net.
Catch them and it's done.
Yep.
What you got in the that pond there?
That's
That
those.
stock tank.
Those are Jaguar live bearers.
Jaguar live bears. Don't make me look that one up.
Can't say no if I can pronounce it. Gensia onca, the scientific name.
Oh,
That's one I looked for about 5 years, and I found a breeder. I only know about 6 people in the United States that has them.
those are pretty. Those are very pretty.
And I could not get them to breed in here. I had them, because I only got 6. I had them in a 10, and I put them in a 20 long, put them in a 20 tall. Finally, in the spring, threw them in that tub, put them outside. Now I got about 80 of them.
You did something right.
Yeah, got sunlight and bugs and
You cracked the code.
cracked the code. I don't show people very often because I know people will be like, sell me some, sell me some.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking to venture into the world of Achilles. So I know there's a few people that I was told that are good with killifish. You were one of them. The other one,
Mark Pyle.
Mark Pyle.
Yeah.
So you guys will be getting contacted from me on how to take care of them, and Tommy.
Mark is definitely an expert. I'm an amateur.
You know what, man? You can keep other fish. I'm pretty sure you can keep those.
I watched a video yesterday and I got this link and I've never heard of it before. Where you can buy killies in a box.
Yes.
Greenwater Farms.
Yes. They sell them on Amazon too.
Yeah. I was going to get on there to get more Daphne because I screwed my Daphne culture up. It had to have been me. I got seed shrimp in there and the seed shrimp took over the Daphne. I got to start over.
These are, I'm pretty sure what you're talking about. Yeah, those.
Comes with everything you need to hatch them.
Yep. That is, that's not going to be how I start, but
No, I just thought it was interesting.
I might give it a shot.
I would probably contact Mark Pyle and say, "Hey, buddy, what do you got?" Because he's probably got, I don't know, 25 different species. He's got a bunch.
A lot of them you can just buy eggs. A lot of their eggs can be taken out of water, and once rehydrated, usually will hatch within a day or so. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna spend the whatever the hell it is to buy them.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. It would be easier to start off with if Mark just sent me a bag full of live fish.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. I'll contact him. I'm actually I'm trying to see if I can coerce him to be on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sit down and have a conversation.
I've seen him on lots of live streams, and he used to do his own, but I haven't seen him for a while lately. But he volunteers at a wildlife refuge.
Yeah, he does. He's
I think he spends a lot of time doing that too.
he's a busy man. I've been trying to get in contact with him. I talked to him a couple of times. He told me he would let me know, and he said this is a busy time with snakes and all of that this time of the year. So, man, you ain't gonna get me to touch a snake.
Look at this guy. He hung out with him today.
Yeah.
Tommy, you didn't go by his house and get our fish for us?
Yeah, you didn't send me some fish, Tommy. What the hell?
Yeah.
Me and Curtis both wanted fish.
So we were related there for a while. I'd like to go to that deal in Houston. Is it December, first weekend of December? Because Mark will be there selling his fish. It's some kind of fish expo.
White man can't jump. He saw my soul leave my body. Hey man, you gotta be careful. I remember walking through the woods as a kid in West Virginia, and I literally was like an inch away from stepping on a copperhead. That would have been fun.
Luckily, we don't have those around here. We just got rattlesnakes.
We got copperheads here in Ohio. I had one crawl out of my exhaust pipe in my car. It crawled in there for the night when I parked because it was warm.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
We got rattlesnakes and bull snakes. About all we got.
We got the harmless garden snake, and then some idiot would probably turn loose because they couldn't keep it. We get things like that, but the only other one was going to be we got water snakes too.
Well, luckily where we both live, it gets cold enough. A lot of that stuff can't survive.
That is 100% correct. Man, it's like today. Today was rainy and chilly. I'm like, man, I'm not looking forward to this. What's coming? That white stuff's coming, man. I don't want to say the word because, yeah.
We had about a 20-minute deal of that the other day, and then it went back to raining, and I was just like, all right, not yet.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. No.
All last week it was barely in the low 40s and raining every day. Dark and dreary outside all day long.
You know what bugs me? I leave in the morning to go to work and it's like half-ass dark, and I come home and it is completely dark.
Yep. Yeah, I have to go outside every now and then just to stand in the sun.
Oh, it's not that I won't touch a snake. I just don't like them. My sister used to have a 20-foot Burmese python. I've touched it. Flatbed said he's ready for that white stuff. It keeps idiots off the road. Not in Ohio, it doesn't. It multiplies the idiots.
Here it puts them in the ditch at least, but they're still out there.
Welcome, Discus North. Yeah, here, man, people, when it snows, I said it, I don't care. When it snows here, people forget that they bought that PS5 and didn't put tires on their car.
Yeah.
So you got them out here in Chargers trying to drive around with no tires on their car that are junk. Or they're in, Subarus that's all-wheel drive with bad bald tires on it. I mean, people are just too busy buying other stuff than maintaining the tires on their car. In the wintertime, a good set of tires is your best friend.
I've been doing, 40 miles an hour on the highway to work. It's like a 13-mile drive for me to get to work.
Yeah.
And I'll have people pass me in like a Cadillac. What are they, an STS or something? 70 miles an hour. Snowing, you can't hardly see the road, and I'm like, yeah, I'll see you in about a mile when you're in the ditch or the median.
Yeah, when your car's a pile of scrap metal.
I'm going to drive on by and leave you standing there. Yeah,
you know what?
Flatbed's right. It's all-wheel drive, not all-wheel stop.
I will tell you this much. I work 4.5 miles from my house, and I've had it take me 25 minutes to go 4.5 miles. So
I've driven to work 15 miles an hour before I couldn't hardly see the highway.
Yep. Luckily for me, I take all side streets.
Between me and my work, there's 2 stop signs because I leave here, stop sign, another stop sign at the highway, and then it's highway all the way there. So.
I got, two stop signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. I can get there pretty quick when it's nice outside, though.
Yeah.
When my little car decides to run properly and the turbo likes to breathe, I can get there pretty quick. My vehicle of choice this week will be my minivan.
Yeah.
I was driving to Noisy Aquatics house and the belly pan fell off my car. I am just not looking forward to either touching it or just, I don't care. It can sit there. I'll drive my van. Luckily for me, I got 3 cars.
Yeah. I got about 3 too many.
I've got my wonderful Honda Odyssey. Got a 13 Ford Fusion and an 06 Honda Accord.
Yeah.
2 Hondas and a
got a 4Runner, a Dodge Dakota, my dad's old 83 Dodge Long Bed, and I got a 2019 Dodge Ram 4-wheel drive with the Hemi. I don't drive that very often because you stomp on your foot on that, you can watch
the gas go. Yeah.
If you want to go somewhere in a hurry, you're past somebody. You got more than you need.
What's up, Newburn? I drove my Ford, little 1.6 liter turbo from here to Michigan, which is 2 hours away. My car's got a 13-gallon tank, maybe 14.
Yeah.
I think I had 3 gallons of gas left when I got there and back. I think did 22 miles to the gallon. It's terrible.
Yeah.
They don't make cars worth a shit anymore.
No.
It is what it is. So are all of your tanks heavily planted?
Yeah.
I can see a whole lot of greenery.
Mhm.
I see what looks like over your right shoulder would be either some really good jungle val.
That?
Yeah.
I got that from Jeff Keen, and I don't remember what he told me it was. It wasn't Jungle Val, it was something else. I'd have to go look and see what he told me it was. It grows just like it. And I grow, most of it is all in bowls. So if I need to take it out to catch fish or do anything, I just lift the whole thing out, put it in a bucket of water.
Nice. Do you run substrate or you typically just run glass bottom tanks?
Glass bottom except the under gravel stuff. They have substrate in it, but it's from Home Depot.
Oh, some nice like play sand?
No, it's just river gravel.
Ah, okay.
50 pounds for $8.99 or whatever it is.
Man, I buy that Quick Creek play sand. That's what I run in my tanks.
I only got one tank with sand in it.
I think all of my tanks have sand in it except for my purple one and my fry rack. I try to keep it sandy because it just seems to work better for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the growing stuff in those dollar store bowls with gravel in it seems to work for me, so that's what I do.
What kind of bowl are we talking about? Just a standard bowl?
It's just a plastic bowl.
Oh shit! Okay.
And that's just, I don't know if you can see it.
Standard river gravel. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I get all kinds of guff from Slim Tim about my purple tank because it's got purple clown puke in it.
I've been telling people I'm going to do that on purpose.
You know what, dude? It was the cheapest substrate they had, and I needed some for a 29-gallon tank.
I've been going to do a under gravel filter with that clown gravel.
Do it.
Set it like right here where everybody's got to see it every time I'm on.
I'll send you it.
I've been going to do it because it'll run just as good as anything else.
It works.
Yeah.
That's what I've explained to everybody. It works. It holds all the junk that your plants are gonna love. It's gonna take all the detritus. Your plants are just gonna eat it. The thing that trips me out though is I have one plant that is actually growing on the heater.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a crick growing out of a sponge over there.
I'm like, why are you growing on the heater?
I don't know. I have no idea why it attached to that sponge. There's a crick just growing out of the side of it. It's like a horn.
Yeah. So I don't know what you know about Jaguar cichlids, but they're not very plant friendly.
Yeah.
So I'm cleaning my Jaguar cichlids tank today, and I moved the sponge filter, and there's a plant behind it that I have no idea how it got in there. Maybe a piece of it came in when I was doing a water change. It was stuck in my Python. I don't know.
Stuck on
But
the net or something.
it was that long. I'm like, well, he didn't eat that, so I'm going to put it in another tank. And when it gets bigger, I'll put it back.
Yeah. I don't know
Is
of
that-
anything. I don't know of anything you could put in there.
There's not much you can put in that tank with that Jaguar. He'll destroy pretty much anything but plastic.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the filter. He's attacked that several times. Kind of chewed through your nice airline tubing. I'm like, you bastard.
That makes it difficult.
So I had to make it to where the line is about that far above the water, and everything else is like a hard tube coming up to the top of it.
Yeah. So I doesn't say you could get some of that acrylic tube.
Yeah, I've made it work. Welcome, Shamu. So, what the actual hell? Hey, it looks like he went and bought himself another FX6. He keeps having problems with his FX6. He keeps blowing bubbles out. Micro bubbles, which means it's getting air somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had that problem yet. And hopefully it stays that way.
Mine's one of the smaller ones. Was it a 4?
Yeah, they got the 4. There's FX2, 4, 5, and 6.
When I do run it, I've never had any trouble.
I've got one on here. I've got one on my 300-gallon goldfish pond. I've actually had people ask me how I have it running when it's sitting almost level with the pond. I'm like, it's just sucking water. Once you get it primed, it's going to do what it's got to do.
Yeah.
It's no different than if it's hanging above it. So
It's crazy.
I am going to.
I've learned over the years what water can do.
It can do a lot. Water can, in fact, roll uphill.
Because I made some of these pens that work. So I could skewer the cucumber and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I just put a piece of string on there and throw it in, then I don't have to reach in there to get it, right?
Yeah.
Come back in an hour and there's a huge puddle on the floor. It whipped right up that string and right out onto the floor.
Water can, in fact, run uphill.
It can run uphill. So I instantly put fishing line on.
That's wild. It's not doing the 12-hour purge anymore. Just random gurgles and spewing out little bubbles. I'm going to transfer the old media and baskets over to the new one, and I'm going to use.
Might be the old hoses where you're.
Might be the hoses. Might be the problem.
Yeah.
Got another subscriber there. Yeah. So, in a perfect world, we'd all like to keep every fish we could.
Yeah.
But when's enough enough? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I caught myself. There's there's this room, a bathroom, and a bedroom, and then the rest of the basement. And I caught myself setting the rack up in there.
Oh.
And it was there for 2 months. And it was like, no, get it out of there, or you're going to take over the whole basement. It's going to get out of control. Stay in this one room. You can get as much as you want in here, but don't get out of the room.
I've got the whole basement.
If I had the whole basement, I could have hundreds.
So I have the entire basement. I have 10 tanks in my breezeway. I have 3 in my dining room, 3 in my living room, and 2 in my front room. I still have tanks in the garage. I have tanks under the house. I have tanks.
Yeah. I used to have a whole row of 10-gallon ones, and now I'm down to 3 because everything's at least a 20. But I've got that 5-foot acrylic sitting outside this door, and I've got a 6-foot wooden one.
Oh
200
no,
gallon one sitting out there.
you got all kinds of room there, buddy.
That's why I'm
Just gotta-
thinking all of these are going to have to go on their end on a different stand, so I can get this out of here. Then I can put that 5-footer there and the 6-footer over there.
I've got a 180 coming as soon as this lady tells me to come pick it up. And I'm looking for 2 more 125s. So I'm going to put a 180 over here where my saltwater tank is. I'm going to double stack my 125s, and then I'm going to double stack the other 125s. And that's going to be it for this side of the fish room. This side of the fish room is tapped. I mean, I really can't put any more any more tanks over here. I mean, as it stands, I got 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13 right here. 14 if you count this one that's empty sitting here. I got another one over here that's 15. Little guy down here that's 16 in this room.
Yeah.
Then I've got
You got a lot more volume than I do.
Yeah, and I got a 300-gallon pond on the floor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 19 tanks on the other side.
Yep.
I got a lot of fish tanks.
I'm trying to force myself to stay in here because I have water, I have a drain, I have all that. That deal in the other room, I was connecting hoses together to run the python.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, let's get away from that. And 2 of the tanks in there, well, 4 of the tanks in there were just a huge pain in the ass because they were actually like a dark water, soft water tank for pencil fish and for pistos. So then I was having to do the RO and remineralize and put the peat in there to drop the pH, and I sold it all.
An 8-foot tank would be difficult for me to get because I'd have no way to get it home. I can't fit an 8-foot tank in the back of my minivan. I am tapped out at 6 feet.
If you left the back doors open and strapped it.
Yeah. It's awesome to see Jim to have True Blue Acara. I do, man. Like I said earlier, I believe I was one of the, I'm not saying I'm the first person on YouTube to have the natural blue Acara, but I think I'm the first one I've seen to have them in a while. You know, and then all of a sudden somebody else pops out with them. Well, I have other Acara that you guys haven't seen. I've got black Acara. I've got yellow banded Acara. I have tanks you guys haven't seen. You know what I mean? You got to have your own fish, man. You got to have something that nobody else sees. You know, I have discus. Those are a mother to keep. You know, I have fish that people haven't seen. I've got ruby green cichlids. Nobody's seen those that I have here. I haven't put them in a video. You know, I keep some things to myself.
Yeah, me too. I get asked all the time, when are you going to do a full fish room tour? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I ever will. Even if I do, I'd skip a tank or 2 probably.
Behind this camera is a wall. And on the other side of that wall are the rest of the tanks. Like literally. Wall. 55-inch TV. Just a wall. I built this, actually, this was going to be like another living room. At one point in time, there was a couch where the 240 is. There was a recliner right here where this little guy is. You know, I would sit down here, I'd watch TV, play. Had all my like my Nintendo, my Xbox, and all that was hooked up down here. Well, then I decided to bring one fish tank down, and then bam, here we are. And he said that was for you.
What was that? This is the purple tanks. Those aren't purple, those are gray.
They're gray.
Those are gray. They're dark gray. Well, yeah, this rack will be gone, but there'll be a 5-foot acrylic tank sitting there.
Welcome, Mountaintop Fish. Yes, June, it's a 55-inch 4K, and down here it looks huge. I have a bigger TV in my living room.
I think a lot of our basements started out that way because I had a couch in here, had the TV on the wall. Not anymore. There's no room for that stuff.
I 100% used to love coming down here, man, because I come down here and hang out with my cats. Because I used to have 2 cats. I come down here and hang out with them and watch TV, you know, just enjoy myself. I come down here and take a nap with my cat. It's just good to get away from everybody. June, she ain't never told me it looked huge. I know what I'm packing. I got a good credit score. 55 is as big as he could fit in a cabin in the woods. I got a 70 in my living room. I ain't going any bigger than that. It looks like I'm, you know, I have to kind of scan the TV to watch it now. And I'm sitting pretty far back from it. And then this guy's got like an 80 or 90-inch TV above 2 fish tanks. Got to remember, this is a small basement. And if you're sitting in front of this tank and that 55 is literally 8 feet in front of you. Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
For down here. And it's bright.
I have a TV in here, but I just use it for the monitor for my laptop.
That's what I have. I got my computer going through a 27-inch Toshiba.
Yeah, that's about what this one is. It's 27 or 28, wherever that size is. A lot better than that 15-inch laptop screen.
Absolutely. My in-laws upgraded their TV. They got a Roku TV. They didn't want this one anymore because it's not a smart TV. They're like, "Oh, you want it?" I said, "Sure." I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I could use that for a monitor for my computer." My wife's like, "Will it work?" I said, "Damn sure it will. It's got an HDMI cord or HDMI input. It'll work."
One night about 2 a.m. after Vibes' stream, we were discussing that. He's like, "How the hell did you do that?" We weren't live, but we were still on. He was digging through his boxes, finding an HDMI cord. And that's why you see him looking up now, because he's got it on his screen. On his TV.
Got it on his TV.
Yeah.
I've got a 55 in my bedroom. Hanging on the wall between 2 bookshelves. You know what I mean?
That's what we got. Hope it doesn't ever fall.
Man, mine's bolted. All right, so when I built my house, I built in my living room, back to back is the wall between it's a great room, is what it's technically called, a great room. But on the wall at a certain height, I put like a solid piece of 2x6, 2 of them stacked, so I could bolt a TV to the wall. So in the bedroom, it's fine. I hit it right off the bat. You know what I mean? I knew where it was going to be. That's where it is. But in my great room, my TV's bolted to my stand. I got an entertainment stand it's bolted to. So I'm like, well, that defeats the purpose of putting that in the wall.
Yeah.
I ain't getting rid of the stand. The stand's a nice glass stand that I got from Walmart, man. I think it was like $149. They messed up and put it in a slot where it said $49. I got a $150 stand for $49. I should have bought both of them.
Yeah. My wife's a school teacher. So she still works part-time. Like, that's where she's at right now. She works a couple nights a week.
Yeah.
So that she can stay there for the summer. Because if she quits to teach, then she's got to reapply in May. And she's always coming home with something. Like those $90 propane grills. Like
yeah.
She came home with one and was like, "What'd you spend all that money on that thing for?" She says it's $29.99. And it was like, why didn't you buy 5 or 6 more? I could have made a killing on selling those to everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could have sold them for $50 and make good money on it.
Absolutely. So I'm planning on going to Aquacella Dallas next year.
Yeah.
I think a couple of us are going to get together from up here. We're going to fly down there. We're going to invade Tommy.
It's a fun time.
I've never been to one. I was going to go to Daytona this year, but things didn't work the way I wanted them to. I should have went to Daytona instead of the last trip to Canada. That's what I should have did. It would have worked better. It would have been more in my favor.
You see a lot of people talk about, it's just all the big businesses, and it's not as like as homey and as friendly. And it was just like, I didn't know anybody the day I walked in there, and I walked out of there like 20 really good friends by Sunday.
Yeah.
That's where I met Vibes. I met New Local Austin there. I stood there and talked to Corey for almost an hour. I mean, that was pretty cool. He's just a regular guy like the rest of us. He's just smarter than the rest of us making money.
Yeah, that's the goal for all of us, at least we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on the paperwork. I think me and you were talking about this a little bit backstage. I'm waiting on the paperwork for my LLC. When it all goes through, I'm gonna be selling some fish. I'm gonna start locally. I really don't want to step on my local fish store owner's toes because he's my buddy. So, but it is what it is. It's all fair in love and war.
Yeah. Well, especially if you've got stuff that he doesn't have.
The majority of the stuff I got from him that I'm breeding.
Yeah.
I have Kenyai cichlids. I've got a tank full of those. I've got 2 tanks full of these bastards, turquoise Severums. I've got, oh man, the ones that bred that I have that I'm happy. I have German Strand Yellow Xerox. Those are hard to find. That I do know. I have probably 15 or 20 of them that survived. So those I'm going to hold on to. Those I'm going to hold on to and breed. I don't care if they're brother and sister. They're going to make me some money.
That's what you always do anyway.
Yeah, those I'm going to try to breed. I'm pretty sure that my lemon Oscars are a male and female.
Yeah, you do the daughter back to the dad and the son back to the mom.
Yep. I am pretty sure that once I get those, if I get those Oscars to breed, that'll be nice. And I've got, like I said, I've got natural or yellow or light or blue Acara. My banded Acara tried to breed. They failed. Failed epically. So, first day vacation dinner. Well, congratulations, man. Tommy pulled off something last night that I'm actually proud of him.
Uh-oh.
So his wife has a Honda Pilot. 3.5 liter V6. He successfully put his mechanical skills to test and did the timing on it. Replaced the timing belt and water pump. That is not an easy job to do. If anybody works on cars, that car is a mother to work on.
Is that why he was looking for that socket the other day?
Yes. I told him, I said, a weighted socket's going to be your best friend in that, especially if you got a weak impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his buddy had a Electra one, came over and helped him out. Did valve cover gaskets and an alternator as well. So congratulations to Tommy. I hope I beat the odds. They look completely different. Their anal fins are different. I mean,
you never know with the odds anymore, though. Because I got 9 juvenile fish from Great Sage. And they're growing up, and I'm looking at them, and there's one male.
God,
he did his job. I'm sure he was pretty happy in there.
All right, he's going to set up his stream.
Oh.
That means you got to be there soon, don't you?
Yeah.
What time is it there?
Here, like 6:04 here.
All right, 7:04. So you're an hour behind me.
Yeah.
And you got to be at his at 7, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have to set anything up though. I just got to click a link.
Yeah. She said the odds are not in my luck, but good luck. Well, it is what it is. I do have 2 female Oscars. If I get a decent sized male, we could see what happens. I got a decent sized male, but I think she'll beat him up. She's grumpy, man. My Lutino Oscar's a grumpy little bitch.
That's the one that's by herself.
Yeah. I've got her by herself, and I've got another one, standard tiger Oscar by itself. They can't get along with anybody. So now I've got 2 tanks surrendered to 2 fish. So
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have any of those situations.
that's the only 2 tanks there. Well, I got 3 tanks like that. Let me take that back, 4. So the Jaguar's in a tank by himself because I can't put anything in there with it. And then my Midas cycle has got a 75 by itself. I should throw them all in like a 300 and see what they do. Throw the Oscars, the Jag, and the Midas in a 300-gallon pond. See what happens. Carnage.
You never know. Mix them all up, throw them in a completely different place.
Yeah. So when I got this Midas cichlid, a guy bought him when he was juvenile, very juvenile. He was in a tank with an Oscar, a couple of Severums. He was in there with a couple of different things, and then the guy just couldn't take care of him anymore, so he surrendered him to the fish store. The fish store owner tried to put the tank they were originally in. He gave the guy fish tank and all. You know what I mean? Just say, here, take it all. So he set the tank back up and he put them all back in their tank.
Didn't work.
That Midas was whooping everybody. I'm like, wow.
Well, I don't know if you can hear him, but my whiny dog's standing right there at the door looking at me like, open the back door.
I got to pee. That's probably why mine was down here a minute ago, but the back door's open so she can walk her happy ass outside.
No, I got to run and let him out.
I'll be right here. Tommy says, laugh out loud. I can put round peg in a round hole. I just have Psycho Sally and Sid Fishes. Yeah, nice. June, I did. I actually added the 2 assholes together, and they were at each other's throat. It was within a matter of, I don't know, they were in the tank together for probably a half hour, and the entire half hour was chasing each other around and bumping each other into the side of the tank. Okay. Give me 1 second.
That's usually my luck. I get a text message or a phone call.
She knows I'm on a live stream.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Saturday nights. Mine's standing clear in here. She's trying to do that sign language and whatever, and I just tell her, like, I shut the mic off. You can talk.
Well, she's flying out in the morning. She's going to Arizona to help a friend out, and she's got to go find like things that she needs in small quantities to take with her.
Yeah.
So I get that. I understand that, but you know what I'm doing. So why the hell do you insist on doing it?
Yeah.
I love her to pieces, but I'll tell everybody like I tell her, she's the dumbest smart person I've ever met in my life. Literally genius level IQ. Common sense of a brick.
Can't find her car keys.
I get a phone call twice a week, probably, where she can't find something. And I'm like, hey, it's there, here, and there. Yes, baby girl.
It's at least once a week. I get this call my phone. It's in this house somewhere. Like, my phone's right there, right where I laid it. It's always right there where I laid it.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I have an Alexa, and I can tell Alexa to call my phone.
Yeah.
I don't ever have that problem because my phone is usually right in front of me.
I went out one day to move her car or to get something out of her car, and the TV remote for the living room was laying in the passenger seat. And I thought, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to take it back inside. I don't want to know why the remote is out in the car.
Man, I found out the distance of a Motorola cordless phone at work. So I got in a car, drove away, had it in my pocket, wasn't paying attention. Pull out the parking lot, got to the corner, the phone rings. I answered it. I set an appointment up at the corner at the red light. I'm like, well, we know it'll work. It was a little crackly, but it still picked up.
Yeah.
Maybe so, June. Welcome, Sunfish. The lemon Oscars are in the 32 gallon together right now. Like I said, they're going to outgrow that quick, so I've got to build the stand this week and get their tank set up. I'm going to put them both in the same tank and see what happens. They may beat the hell out of each other, but they've been together since they were little, so they may do all right. Don't end up being sand and some other things. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I've been building tank stands. I've been getting everything set up to where I can get, successfully start breeding. What would be some suggestions you would give anybody trying to breed fish?
Species only tanks. I see a lot of people trying to breed multiple things, and then, this fish ate that fish's fry, and keep them separate. Live foods. I don't know what you're going to feed great big fish for live foods, but I've seen a lot of people feed them worms, like red wigglers.
Yeah.
Live foods really makes them take off.
So as hard as this is to believe, these guys were a batch in my South American 125.
And survive.
I have electric blue acara in there. I got BA tetras, several other species of severums, bristlenose pleco, a Jack Dempsey, and I got every one of these ones out of there. And I got a whole entire other tank of them out of there yesterday.
Jesus. It can be done. I mean, I've got bronze cories in with I got blackmores, guppies. It's like my only community tank. And I'll see them laying eggs on the glass, and I'm thinking, well, they're gone. I'm not going to, get them out of there and try to hatch them.
Nope.
2 or 3 weeks later, I'll see 3 or 4 little ones cruising around the bottom of the tank. They made it.
Never successfully bred cories.
They're not too hard. You just got to figure out the tricks for egg layers. Do they lay in mops, or do they lay in moss? Or a lot of times the parents are their worst enemy.
They end up eating them.
Yeah, they'll eat them.
So I've got 2 breeding pair of discus, and they've both successfully laid eggs. They've successfully fertilized them, but they also successfully laid them on the heater.
Yeah, you got to
not on the cone, on the heater.
You could always pull that heater out, put it in another tank, put an air stone right at the bottom with the flow going across them. I don't have any heaters, so.
Well, I keep that tank a little warmer than the rest because of what they are. Those tanks are about 83, 84 degrees as well. So, but I'm pretty sure that fried any viability in those eggs. Constant at 84 degrees.
A lot of times your hard water will get you with egg layers, because the shell will get like calcium build over it.
Yeah.
You can't break the egg to get out. That's why a lot of people, they'll pull their cone and they'll put it in RO water.
I might have to try that.
Yeah, they pull the cone and put it in our water. I know people that do their rainbows and stuff that breed in a mop. They just have a 5-gallon bucket with an air stone in it of RO water, and they just hang that mop in the bucket.
Oh, you got a cat too, huh?
There's a zoo around here. Got 2 cats and 3 dogs.
So I used to have 3 cats and 2 dogs. Now I'm down to 1 dog. She was the first dog I got, and she's still standing.
Yeah.
She is
two little ones that are 12, and the big guy's 10.
She's 12 years old. American Pit Bull or American Bulldog Pit Bull mix. He likes those rainbow breeding tips.
I try to steal as many tips from people as I can. I mean, I don't have any rainbows, but it's a good tip. It's
Tommy's got some fish that I want.
which one's that?
Geophagus Y. Millerai.
All right. Sand sea sippers.
Yes, got a bunch of them in here. I've got Juraparis and Spheni and Tapaho. They do good, believe it or not. They get along pretty well.
Yeah, I like geos.
Demon Earth Eaters.
Yeah,
You would have a
I'm surprised I didn't come home with a cat that day, Mike. We got to Mike's house and he just had all of these kittens.
Oh no.
And they're all climbing all over my wife, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
He's like, I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Man, my wife goes to the ASPCA here.
Yeah.
And every time she goes, I tell her, I said, don't come home with anything. Why? I said, look what's in the basement. Our old cats, I promise you, everything that was down here, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Even my open pond. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing but my boy cat up there drinking the water out of it. That's it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't jump in it. He wouldn't bother to fish. Nothing. I had tanks down here, and I had a pair of electric blue Acara that jumped out of the tank. My cats didn't eat them. They didn't care.
Yeah, mine don't mess with anything. Half the time I let the dogs are in here with me. They snoop around thinking that there's going to be a fish on the floor or a snail that crawled out or something, but they're usually mistaken.
My dog looks for any kind of fish food on the floor.
Yeah.
She's like a little Hoover, man.
Yeah. I like when Skipper was saying he left all his pellets sitting on a stand somewhere and the dog ate the whole bag. Like one of those great big Akari bags that the dog ate them all.
So we went to a wedding, like a wedding reception, and they were giving like little bags of chocolate. They were like a pound of Hershey Kisses per bag. Yeah. We brought them home. I had 2 of them. My dog she ate the bag and every one of them, dude. I'm like, man, I'm thinking she's gonna get sick.
Yeah.
She was just pooping foil for a week. She was good. Cat drinks out of the tank in my bedroom.
Yeah, the cats don't drink out of it. The dog will drink out of there.
And the dog's fine, so I'm pretty sure we probably could drink out of it and be just fine.
I got another tub you can't see. It's got 2 big old rescue goldfish that I got.
Yeah.
And those goldfish will actually splash that big dog with water. He sticks his face down there to drink, and you can see the water fly. They're splashing at him. And he turns around and looks at me like, what'd you let him do that for? Get your face out of their hole.
Dog ate him.
I got to let him back in. Better run, cat.
You better run, cat. Love cats. They're awesome they're awesome fish. Yeah. That's what I said. Cats are awesome fish. Sorry, I'm messing with a couple of things here. Or pre-spawn and get all the freebies. Oh, yeah. I'm about to build me a canoe. Tommy said he's going to build him a canoe
For what?
so they can go catch some fish.
Shoot, I thought he was one of them primitive guys that just jumped in there and got it with his
Put his
teeth.
bare hands.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. My dog's got to go out.
You say hi. You say hi. Big dummy. You're not getting up here. You are not getting up here. Say hi to Tommy. Say, hi, Tommy. Pull it down. Pull it down. There you go. See, they all like you. For some reason, they like you. Are you sneezing on me? Are you sneezing on me? Big retarded. Huge.
All right. So, oh, look at the pretty doggy.
Yeah. He's thinking he's getting ready to climb up in my lap, and he is definitely wrong.
Oh, no. Lap dogs.
He thinks he is.
My dog, wherever she fits, she sits.
Mm-hmm. Years ago, I had a greyhound that we got from the track,
Uh-huh.
and he would be sitting on one end of the couch, and you could sit on the other, and you could just watch him inchworm. Take him 30 minutes to move across that couch, and pretty soon you had like 90 pounds right on top of you, and he was just like, "It's my chair."
You know what? My dog, I made the mistake when she was, when we, like the night we brought her home, I put her right here.
Mhm.
She's 95 pounds now and thinks she can still sit there.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you're too big. You can't do that. You got to go.
I take him in the truck with me all the time.
My dog's an idiot in the car. Oh, God. She's an idiot.
That big guy doesn't. He knows he's supposed to get in the back, and he just sits. He's got his head like right in between the front seats, just hanging out.
Yeah, not mine. My other dog was great in the car. Not my my girl. They don't make these Pepsi cans big enough. I need to quit drinking that shit. It's gonna kill me.
Yeah. Too much sugar.
Oh. You know what, man? You're gonna die. You can't gonna get out of this world alive. So might as well enjoy it while I'm here.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's like they asked me the other day. Last time I was at the doctor, are you an organ donor? I said, trust me, when I'm done with these, nobody's gonna want them. She's like, why? I said, because I'm gonna fuck these up. When I'm done, they're done.
I've been working on a lot of years of abuse already.
Yeah. Man, my kidneys have already shut down as an adult. I was sick when I was 19. I had a fever of 106.5. My kidneys shut down. I mean, it's happened. You know, I've had 2 heart attacks before I was 30. So, man, they're
covered in salt or what?
Auntie Anne's make some really good pretzels. You ought to try their pretzel dogs. Those are even better. Go Birds. Who are they playing, Josh? Probably the Browns. That'd be my luck. Cleveland sucks anyway.
I don't even watch football, but I know Cleveland spent way too much money on some players. playing the Cowgirls, the un-American team. One,
No, we
one of the secretaries that works at Cowboys got it all over her car, wears the shirts, and every time I see a meme or anything, she instantly gets it on her phone. Instantly.
I got the Fast and the Furious meme.
Yeah.
It shows the Charger with all the cowboy shit on it. Says pop the hood. You pop the hood and there's nothing but dildos flying out.
Yeah.
I sent that to my buddy Bill because he's a big Cowboys fan. He's also an Alabama fan, so every time Bama loses, I rub that in his face too.
Yeah.
But yet he's a Cleveland Indians and Cavaliers fan. I'm like, but you don't like the football team? Hater.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I really don't know, but I'll tell you one thing, man. Do you find this hobby therapeutic like I do?
Oh, yeah.
When you have a real bad day, you come down and sit in front of a tank and just watch these little things swim around?
Yep. My wife always tells me that. She says, I know where you are. You come home from work, you grab a beer, and you go sit in front of something. And I've got plenty of choices. I mean, I've got all kinds of different stuff to look at. Sit there and look at the plecos on the glass. I probably use music on YouTube more than I do for live streams.
I watch you know what, man? I pay for like streaming apps, like what I got, Paramount Plus, Peacock. I got a bunch of different, streaming services. I watch YouTube more than those.
Yeah, we shut all those off. We don't watch them.
I mean, anything I want to find, I can find on YouTube, technically, except for like movies. And some of those you can find now.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of them they play on YouTube now that just has the commercials like the old days. But the full movie's still there.
Yeah. Until I bought the movie The Wraith with Charlie Sheen. That's where I used to watch it. That was on YouTube. It's a good movie for being a cheesy horror film. Hey, I'm from cowboy country. Watch your damn mouth. Cowgirls. Hey. I was a Cowboys fan for 45 years. I retired in 2020. You know what, man? The Browns made a horrible mistake by getting Deshaun Watson. Plain and simple. That is the worst mistake they made. And now they expect us to pay for that new stadium they want to do with the freaking dome on it. Why should I pay for a dome for a team that's shitty? I mean, why? So we have Taylor Swift come sell it out? Sure.
Yeah, if they're smart enough to use it for other things.
Yeah, that was the days of the Cowboys, though. Dion Emmett and Troy Aikman, them were the days, man.
Yeah. They haven't been that way for over 20 years.
I'm going to show my age, but the Houston Oilers with Warren Moon.
Oh, yeah.
That was the era of football, because then we still had, Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a bunch of – that's when we had talent in the NFL.
Yeah, that Chicago Bears defense that just beat everybody up.
Absolutely. The Bears were a monster to play.
Yeah.
And if you had two defensive teams and they were playing each other, man, it's not worth watching because the score is going to be like 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching a baseball game when it's a pitching duel. It's boring.
Yeah, the only time they'd score a touchdown, it was usually an interception or a fumble because the offense couldn't score.
Yeah, it's terrible. Tommy stopped watching baseball after Jose Canseco, Juan Gonzalez, and Nolan Ryan. I don't know. I've watched it. I've watched some. Not a lot. I watched some of this year's playoff series until the Cleveland Guardians look like garbage against the Yankees.
I don't hardly ever watch it on TV, but my daughter lives in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while, she'll score some pretty good tickets for almost nothing.
Man,
Hopefully an afternoon game. Go to an afternoon game. They're like $15 to get in.
Yes. So I played hooky and went to a Detroit Tigers game. The Indians were playing the Tigers. They're always going to be the Indians. I don't care if they're the Cleveland Guardians, they're the freaking Indians. Drove up to Detroit, watched them in Detroit. Man, we had a pitcher. He was terrible. His name's Brian Shaw. Dude is terrible. He's in the bullpen. He walks out to warm up, and I just yell, "Shaw, you suck." He's like, "Yeah, I know." I just kept walking.
Yeah, I know what I'm still getting paid.
He's like, "I know I suck." Oh, man. I don't know. It's just you watch these people make a whole bunch of money to do something. You know what I mean? Why don't you do something like cure cancer? Then we can pay you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know?
Should be paying teachers and police and stuff for money instead of those guys.
Firefighters, first responders, you know?
Yeah. It's like that big long meme about I've needed a farmer, I've needed a policeman, I've needed this, but I never needed, it lists everybody. It says I never needed an actor or a singer or an entertainer of any kind.
You know, my house is on fire. I'm not calling LeBron James. I'm definitely not calling P. Diddy because he can put baby oil all over it.
Oh, man, the memes on that are just ridiculous.
You know, man, that right there being blown out of proportion as big as it is covered up many other things that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Like the entire board for 23andMe stepped down. The same day. 7 million people. Guys, if your DNA is on 23andMe, you could kill somebody in Bangladesh tomorrow and never leave the United States because they have your data or your DNA.
Yeah, my daughter tried to get me to do that, and I told her, hell no.
The government's already got my DNA when I was born.
They already know more about me than I want them to know. I'm not giving them any extra. Correct.
You know, and then everybody was upset about the way the election went. I've seen people melt down, lose friendships, file for divorce. Come on, people.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
It's 4 years. We just did almost 4 years of these people. What's 4 years of somebody else? Let's give it a shot. We could like it. You don't, judge your shit on politics. Well, we don't talk about politics or religion on this channel. Our religion is fish.
That's right. Fish, and making money and having a good time.
Meeting some solid people doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was, my trips to Canada technically weren't, ruined. I've actually met one of my subscribers. Red Laser. His name's Gordon. I met him in a local fish club when I was up there, Hamilton's Aquarium Society. Gord, if you're still watching, I will not be there in April. They canceled it for me, so I don't know what happened. But, I met him there, had a nice conversation with him, solid dude. It's always nice to meet somebody, you know what I mean, face to face, other than like here. And to be honest with you, if I wouldn't have ran into him there, I'd never know what he looks like.
That's why you like going to these shows.
Yeah, you get to meet some people.
I mean, I was standing in line at Aquashella the first night. They don't do it anymore, but they had a dinner if you got the expensive package, the VIP dinner, I guess they call it. I was standing in line, and Jason and Joanna came over and just started talking to me. I was just like, holy crap, this is Jason and Joanna. I got up there farther in line where you actually go through the buffet, and there was Flip Aquatic standing there saying, hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. That happened all weekend long. All weekend.
It's nice to run into people that are actually nice. Like I met the founder of Northfin when I was in Canada at the Canadian Pet Expo. Guys, don't get me wrong. The Canadian Pet Expo they've only done aquariums for 2 years, apparently. This was their second year, so it was kind of small. But don't let me take away from the fact that reptiles, dogs, and cats, that is your show, I'm telling you. I've never seen so many reptiles under one roof in my life.
I seen some videos from there. It looked like it was pretty good size.
It's a decent size, but the aquarium section's probably the size of like your typical Petco or PetSmart. You know what I mean? Wasn't very big section. You know, so it wasn't terrible.
That's how that one that's coming up in Houston is. It's got reptiles and birds, but they added fish a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's going to take some momentum to get it to where they want it to be. But man, it's not a terrible show. I'm just not a reptile person.
I still want to go to the Quad City Swap in Iowa, but I got a feeling that if I go that day, I better take my wife and have her hand pull my wallet. There's a lot of nice stuff there.
So I've been trying my hardest to stay away from the Ohio Cichlid Association meetings they have here. They do swaps at a hotel in Strongsville, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I've been trying my hardest to stay away from there, dude, and it's killing me because I want to go. And I know I'm going to come home with an ass load of fish. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so. But it's okay because I'll make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know my wife, because I'll be looking at something and she'll say, well, if you really want it, we're not going to be back for a while, so go ahead and get it. And I'll be like, crap.
Welcome, Danny.
She gave me permission.
Jerry Jones will pass at some point. Maybe then the Cowboys will get better. Maybe. Within 30 minutes, you'll get that wallet back. It used to be me going to like anything to do with cars, man. I'm a car guy. But I currently don't have any to work on that are worth anything. You know what I mean? A Ford Fusion isn't worth shit. A Honda Odyssey really isn't worth a lot. And that Accord I got ain't worth a damn. You know? But I don't have time to even mess with a car.
You're probably like me. I work all day. And I am the supervisor, but I'm still sometimes doing wiring, welding, hydraulics, whatever. And the last thing I want to do is turn on all the lights in the garage and open the toolbox.
That is correct. I work all day. Even though I'm the manager of the place, I'm still outside working on cars. You know,
you're in that environment all day.
Yeah. And then, you know, I got a kid that works for me. He was crying, man, because we had this is funny. We had an International 4700 chipper truck. Needed rear brakes. He's crying because he's never done rear brakes on it before. I said, dude, it's the same. It's the same hydraulic setup. I'm like, the only difference is it's twice the size of a Silverado.
Yeah,
it's a little heavier.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier. I said, it's the same principle, man. He's blah, 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 blah. I said, you know what, man, stop crying. Go do that oil change. You go ahead and be the lube tech for today. I'll go out there and do the brakes on. I'm in the parking lot doing brakes on this thing by not by myself. The other guy was out there helping me, but, you know, he's like, well, why did you go out there and do it? I said, because you apparently weren't going to. I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I have not done myself or would do myself. And that's what these guys need to realize. It's just stupid to, you know, think that I'm going to ask you to do something that I wouldn't do. Yeah, my hubby is redoing his 86 Camaro this winter. I call the 86 third gen Camaro a mullet.
Yeah. I was born back in the time of real Camaros.
Can I tell you one of my least favorite cars on the planet?
Yeah.
A Camaro.
Camaro?
One of my least favorite cars on the planet.
I've never had one.
I had an 86 IROC. I didn't care for it. It was a fun car to drive. It's just a bitch to get in and out of. But it's one of my least favorite cars on the planet. And it's not that they're ugly. It's just everybody and their mom goes after that. If they're building an old car, it's a 68 Camaro, 69 Camaro. Why don't you build a real car? Why don't you build like 57 Plymouth Belvedere or, you know, a Road Runner? Build something that nobody else has built.
I was going to say get a Pontiac GTO.
GTO, do a Tempest for God's sake, or a Le Mans.
Yeah.
Do something that's cool, not something that everybody and their mother has done. Oh, that's why I like the import scene, like the old what the hell is it? The old Skyline S2000.
Yeah.
Like that. Do that.
Yeah, my dad's boss forever had it was actually Datsun. It was the 1600 Speedster, the little
Okay.
two-seater. That was a fun little car.
73 Pantera. So I grew up in the era where the cars kind of sucked. You know what I mean? My first car was an 86 Oldsmobile front wheel drive Delta 88 limited edition.
Wow.
It was a prototype that GM put out and had the first supercharged 3.8 liter. Amazing car. Almost killed myself in it.
Yeah. My first car was a 72 short bed Chevy pickup with a 327 in it.
I had a 72 long bed with a 350 in it.
I was buying used tires down the street at the tire shop.
Because you were banking them off of it.
I was burning them off. I slowed down after I had to. My dad wouldn't let me work on it in the garage, so he made me change the clutch out in the street in front of the house. So I kind of slowed down on the old dumping the clutch on it business.
That's fun, man, when you got to do it on the ground. And
yeah, and you're laying on the asphalt and it's slanted and
yep,
pulling the drive line and the tranny out.
The car's trying to roll on you.
Got it done, though.
92 tempo with a cracked power steering rack. Oh, that's a great one right there. You suffered. I'm sorry. You said a tempo. And then I moved up to a 91 Cutlass Sierra, man. The Grandpa Special, let me tell you. 3.3 liter V6, 4-door, tinted windows. Very comfortable car, man.
Felt like you were sitting on your couch.
It was practical. You know what I mean? It was comfortable. It functioned. You couldn't kill it. It was good in the snow, good on gas. I loved them. I've owned 10 of them. If I could find a nice one right now, I'd buy it.
Yeah, besides our old Volkswagens, the last one we had, and we never should have sold it, was a Galaxy 500.
Oh, yeah.
Had the 352 in it with a 2-speed Cruise-O-Matic.
Good old Cruise-O-Matic. It was the competition to the Power Glide.
Yep.
And
one of the only automatics you could push start.
And it's sad that they're the exact same transmission internally.
Yeah.
First car was a 76 Monte Carlo.
Styling.
That is styling. My mom's Sierra ran until it was over 400K. I got rid of one with 297 on it. It was smoking a little bit, but it ran like a champ. You couldn't beat it. That thing would pass everything but a gas station, though. Like I said, if I ever found another one, I would buy that car in a heartbeat. Just a little basic front-wheel drive, ugly little fucking Oldsmobile. I'm an Oldsmobile guy. I love it enough to have it tattooed on my leg. Got the grandson an 85 Danger Ranger. That's what I'm talking about.
With a flathead.
So, June, I currently have in my shop at work, we have a 62 Impala SS. We currently have one there we're working on. We're putting some front end parts and stuff on it. It's a beautiful car. Found out Friday night that the door keys don't open the doors. They parked it out in the parking lot for today. You know, they parked it in between two cars that we knew weren't going to move. so nobody would touch it, breathe on it, or scrape it. And these guys are like, oh man, we got to leave it outside for the weekend. Can't get the door open. I said, bullshit, that car's coming in. That thing ain't getting stolen out of my parking lot, you know? Well, how are we going to get in it? I said, I got something in my toolbox. So me being what I used to do as a juvenile, go over and slide the toolbox open, pull out a Slim Jim. The kid just looked at me. What are you going to do with that? I said, open the door. And then I went. They just looked at me like, what? I used to be a car thief. You never forget, you know what I mean?
I think a lot of people own those.
Slim Jim, I got one in a toolbox outside here, and I got a whole lockout kit at work. I got a lockout kit in my garage too.
Yeah.
My wife was good at locking her keys in the car. And then our friend Emily used to come over and lock her keys in the driveway every time she came over. So I'm like, you know what? I'll buy a lockout kit. I got good at opening my my old Civic too. My wife kept locking the keys in it. I could open that Civic in under 12, 13 seconds. I've opened it that many times. Just walk over. There you go. Walk away. Your mom had one. It was great. I'll tell you what, that 62 we got there is beautiful. The only thing I like better than the 62 would be the 59 Impala because it's got the big fins on the back of it.
Yeah.
And the teardrop sideways taillights. I'm a lowrider guy. I really am. But I don't like the hydraulic portion of it, if that makes sense. I think the car looks nice low, but I think it would be better on airbags instead of hydraulics. The way you're not killing the suspension.
I like the look of them and the paint jobs and all of that on them.
Yeah, but you ruin a car when you start cutting it up to put hydraulics on it, man. That car will never be straight again. I bought a car from a car auction. It was low, had the factory wheels on it, man. It was an 85 Cutlass. It wasn't the Supreme. It was just a 4-door Cutlass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, car looks low for some reason. I'm like, I think maybe to somebody because a lot of people would heat the springs and drop the car.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting it for like $1,200 through the auction. I'm driving it home. You know what I mean? I get in it and I open the glove box to see what was in the glove box, and the friggin' control box falls out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, whoop. It was like, whoop. I'm like, oh shit. I drove it home. It rode horrible, man. I drove that thing all the way from Erie, PA to Cleveland, Ohio. It was terrible. I sold that car within 2 days. Never fixed anything on it. Sold it for twice what I paid for it. I like the 65 or 67. Very similar, slight differences. 58 T-Bird, and the hubby corrected me. I think if I'm going to buy an old car, I've always liked the look of the old Plymouth. Like the 57, 58 Fury or Belvedere, they're the same damn car.
Yeah.
Or the Plymouth Savoy, which is the same car. They're all the same. 455 Buick engine and a 442. Hey, this will show you.
There's
442, baby.
there's a guy that I work with, and I don't know what he was doing. He's got about a 78 Camaro somewhere in there, and
Okay.
it's got a 455 Pontiac in it.
Good God.
And he opened the hood, and I thought, what kind of morphodite thing is that? When Chevy made all these engines, he put a Pontiac in there.
Powerhouse, dude. Torquey.
Oh yeah, he didn't have it running probably less than a month, and he blew the tranny out of it. I was like, yeah, you can't just build the engine; you got to build the whole car.
I bought a 64 Grand Prix. Had a blown 396 in it.
Jesus.
Said next to it, the guy bought an engine for it. He bought a 421 big block out of a Pontiac Safari wagon. I bought the car and the engine and tranny for $1,500. I got it home. I had the car running the next day. That's how like I was ready to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 64, we all know there was no power brakes. That thing was drum brake all the way around, no disc. This thing would not light the back tire up, but it would fly. I mean, it would fly.
Once you got it rolling, it was going.
Once it was rolling, you were going. I promise you're going to pass everything, including a gas station, because you had no brakes to stop. Once you got those drum brakes hot and they fade, it's over with.
Yeah.
So, my friend, I know you got to be on that live stream in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you being here. We're going to have to do this again.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm still gonna have to catch your Rumble deal someday. I never.
Oh man,
never seem to be the right time or the right place.
every Wednesday, 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central. I think you're Central, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brakes. We don't need no stinking brakes. You want to stop, you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll definitely do this again. And Stan wants to know what stream you're going to. M&C Aquatics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
M&C.
And me, I got to be up at like 3:00 or 3:30 to take my wife to the airport. So, hooray for me.
I would just have to stay up because I would never get up.
You know what, man? I got to work a 10-hour shift. So, I got to get a little bit of sleep. So, man, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We need to do it again.
Absolutely. So, have yourself a great evening, my friend. Go enjoy that other stream. I will try to tune in, but I might have to tune into my pillow.
Yeah, I'm going to tune in to feeding these dogs so that they quit staring at me.
All right, boss man. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. That's going to be the end of this live. It's your hobby. Do it your way.